We can't control global trade or what the administration is doing. We can control how we prepare for it, how we price, how we communicate to keep our businesses running smoothly. And that's what today's podcast is all about. Welcome to the Handyman System Podcast, your ultimate guide to building and running a successful handyman business. If you are an aspiring or working handyman or contractor and you're looking to learn business pricing, marketing, or automation strategies, you have come to the right place. So join us as we dive into the actual tips and proven strategies to help you nail down your business goals and renovate your path to success. Your hosts are myself, Becca Ellison. I am the CEO of the Handyman System, a marketing agency that helps handyman businesses thrive, and I am often joined by Caleb Ingram, the CEO of North Seattle Handyman. Let's get started. Welcome back to the Handyman System Podcast. We're going to help you build a smarter, more profitable home service business without all the guesswork. I'm your host, Becca, and today we're going into a topic that's becoming hard to ignore these days. That is the cost of materials rising, supply chain delays, and what these new tariffs are potentially going to mean for your business. If you've noticed, prices creeping up or shelves looking a little emptier, there is a reason. While we can't control global trade or what the administration is doing, we can control how we prepare for it, how we price, how we communicate to keep our businesses running smoothly. And that's what today's podcast is all about. So first, we're going to jump into kind of what's happening and why you're going to start seeing in the stores the implications of this trade war we're in. There's already been a 30% drop in shipments leaving China, and the last pre-tariff shipments left China in early April. It takes about 3 weeks for those shipments to cross the ocean, another 1 to 2 weeks to get through customs, distribution, and onto store shelves. So that means that mid-May is approximately when we're going to start to see the difference in stock in places like Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, Walmart, and all of the stores. Mid-May is when the last output of pre-tariff goods will hit the shelves, and everything has slowed down since then. What does that mean to your team and being able to produce the work and have the supplies for your jobs? The issue is that smaller suppliers are not placing orders because they can't absorb that upfront tariff cost. Some manufacturers are outright refusing shipments at the U.S. borders because it's too expensive. Some companies are not saying yes to shipments. And so their shipments of goods are sitting off the U.S. shore due to these issues. You'll probably start to notice fewer options in the store, higher prices, and more back orders. So knowing this now means that you can be aware of and get ahead of it while some others might get caught off guard. Recently, execs from Home Depot, Lowe's, Target, and Walmart sat down with the president to make it clear that these tariffs are really going to hurt supply chains and affect American businesses and consumers alike. The companies that we rely on for these materials are using their voice. Now, is it going to change anything in the administration's approach? That's still up in the air, but at least they're fighting to keep goods flowing. Big companies like this have dealt with tariffs in the past. They knew the tariffs were coming, so hopefully they did the pre-work to minimize their reliance on products coming from China. They have those contingency plans. They're already working to shift sourcing to countries like Thailand and India to soften the blow so that stores are not completely empty. That's going to help soften the blow, but we do just want to be smart business people and recognize that we have to adapt and there are changes afoot. The first thing that I want to talk about is thinking about stocking up smart, especially before you start to see those items disappear. Small essentials, things that you use and consume at every job. Screws, nails, caulks, adhesives, other consumables that you use daily. You might take the advantage of going, oh, this is in stock. Maybe I'll buy an extra box or two. You can check the labels, look on the back of it. If it's made in China and you use it all the time, maybe grab an extra while it's available. And then remember, when you stock up, you're going to make sure that you're charging the price that is current market price when you sell that item, not the price that you bought it at, because you're now covering storage, handling, early purchasing costs, all of that. So to be running a smart and sustainable business, you're purchasing early, you're still charging the current market rate, and you'll be able to get back some of the funds for the cost of this extra prep and credit card fees You also want to be updating your estimates and policies so that you are communicating best with your clients. The easiest and best move you can make right now is updating your inquiry form and estimates to reflect the reality of these material prices. Having a simple clause saying material prices are subject to change. Final billing will reflect actual costs at the time of service, not the estimate date. This protects your profit and sets clear expectations. The client's like, oh, well, you said yes to this estimate on April 10th, but you didn't actually get the job done till May 10th. The cost might have drastically changed. You're not going to honor the price from April 10th. You're going to honor the price for market value on May 10th. But you want to let people know that beforehand. And then the next thing to think about, when budgets get tighter, homeowners are going to get pickier and not look for the cheapest option. They're going to look for someone they trust to get the job done right the first time. People are going to be a lot more discerning in who they're hiring. If you've been ignoring your online presence, it's really now time to fix that. So if your Google business profile has 1 or 2 reviews, you want to start getting those reviews today. People are checking those Google reviews, they're browsing websites and comparing contractors more than ever. And this is where you stand out, not just by being good at your trade, but by looking professional online and showing proof through reviews. Now, if you're like, how do I get more reviews? We have a service where we help you get more reviews from your past clients. I ran a successful review campaign for a client that has a successful business, but only had 1 Google review, and it was over a year ago. In a week's time, he ended up with 20 plus additional 5-star reviews through the campaign we ran. So if you're like, how do I get more? I have a client list. Reach out to us. We would love to help you. The next step is pricing. Remember, materials cost more, and if you don't adjust your pricing, you are the one eating that cost. You need to review your rates regularly, use variable pricing clauses, or lean on tools like our quick quote price book to stay ahead without second guessing your numbers and being more confident in what you are offering. Just like we said above, have that clarification in your estimate that people will be paying the current market price on materials. Another thing you can do is on your estimate say materials are TBD, and don't give a price for materials and say we will find out what the price is on the day of the booking, and you just price out for labor. The end all be all really comes down to being proactive, not reactive. The next few months might feel a little bit unpredictable, but businesses that plan ahead, communicate clearly, and build trust are not only going to survive, you're going to thrive. So remember, stock up smart, especially before mid-May, protect your pricing, and then show up online like the trustworthy pro that you are. And most importantly, lean into your reviews. They are your best marketing tool when people are being more discerning with their dollars. If you need help in tightening up your online presence, review strategy, or pricing systems, head over to thehandymansystem.com and see how we can help you. If you found this episode helpful, share it with a fellow contractor and leave us a review. It helps more than you know. Thanks so much, and looking forward to next week. So that wraps up another episode of the Handyman System Podcast. I hope you found today's insights valuable. Remember, success isn't just about knowing the right tools. It's about taking action and building your business every single day. If you've enjoyed the show, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with anyone you think might find it valuable. Until next time, keep building and keep improving.